Pokémon Emerald, a game full of adventure, epic music, and way too many Zigzagoon. In this run, I can only catch Pokemon with a 5% encounter rate or lower. It's like hunting shinies, but none of the reward and all of the questionable life choices. Can I beat a Pokemon Emerald hardcore Nuzlocke? Let's find out. We begin our adventure with our starter, Torchic. This little furry bait is here to not only make this run possible for my smooth brain, but to not make it too easy like the Gecko or Axolotl otherwise would. And you can't actually encounter these Pokemon, so like technically it has a 0% encounter rate. Look, I know it's a stretch, but bear with me. We clap May, and on Route 102, we have two possible encounters, Ralts or Seedot. Definitely want Ralts here since we can find Seedot and even Nuzleaf on other routes. And in literally 7 encounters, I found one. Absolutely superb luck. Now's a chance for me to explain the encounter rules. I can only use the rarest encounter found on each route, as long as it's 5% or lower, unless that Pokemon can be found somewhere else at a higher rate, or its pre-evolution is more common. For example, on Route 103, I can find Pelipper, which has a 5% encounter rate, but Wingull are everywhere, so I can't use it. The encounter list is small, but hopefully enough to catapult me through this run. Our next encounter comes in Petalburg Woods. After 60 encounters on the dot, we find Sonic the Slackoth. We whoop the Aqua Grunt and make our way to Rustboro City and begin our fight with Roxanne. This is a fight I shouldn't have won. She leads with her dude as I send in McDonald's. I set up with a double team as she misses a rock tomb. Then the following turn, do it again and again, but this time she actually hits McDonald's, who heals to 26 HP with her Oranberry. She gets the dude to half with the confusion. She sets up with a defense curl and setting up with one more double team before taking her out. The second dude comes out and same as the prior one, goes down to 2 confusions. Big Honker comes out smelling our salty fries. She sets up a Harden as Confusion does, what even is that, an 8th? She blocks us the next turn as we do another 8th and confuse her. She then whacks herself as another Confuser gets her into Oranberry range, and as she somehow hits Tackle, we growl at her because I kind of figured we'd get hit eventually. After a bit of back and forth and her getting us to 6 HP, she thankfully whacks herself on the forehead and we take her out, winning the first gym badge. I won in the most disgusting RNG way, but hey, you know what's more disgusting than that? You not being subscribed. So like, go fix that because you're better than that. And I love you. I was going to avoid this May fight, but she talks some hot mess, so we clap her again. Yeah, look away, peasant. And we talk to Mr. Boatman, who takes us to Doofer Town. After spending way too much damn time in the cave, we deliver Esteban's letter, Sonic and KFC evolve, and begin our fight with Karate Man. McDonald smacked up Machop and Meditite with confusions after using all his super potions, and did the same to Pillsbury Doughboy, winning us the second gym badge. Next on the encounter list is Plusle. With a 2% encounter rate, this is probably gonna take a while. Oh, would you look at that? After catching Plusle, McDonald's evolves, getting closer to that sweet body pillow, and we beat up Team Aqua. May challenges us under the bridge, and May loses under the bridge. Wally challenges us in front of the gym, and Wally loses in front of that gym. Time for the main event. Watson. He leads with Voltorb as I send in KFC. I bulk up as a Shockwave takes KFC close to half. He goes for a Spark that of course paralyzes me. And of course I didn't equip myself with Cherry Berries because like, why would I? Electrike comes in, and after setting up a Howl, luck is on our side and we break through, taking him out as well. Magneton comes in, and after risking KFC's life for no reason, we survive a Shockwave and break through again with a double kick, bringing him super low. He heals with a super potion, and oh wow, we break through again, taking him out. Goodness, KFC refuses to stay fully paralyzed. KFC has played his role incredibly, and it's time to switch. I send in Sonic, who after eating a quick attack, gets Thunder Waved and stays fully paralyzed. He sets up a Howl as we hit a Yawn, and after getting hit with a Shockwave, we heal with Slack Off as he falls asleep. We stay fully paralyzed on his first turn of sleep, and on the second turn, lower his defense with a Rock Smash. We repeat the same thing, and on the turn he wakes up, he hits with another Shockwave, but we're able to get him drowsy again. A Slack Off after he sets up Howl keeps us in, and after dragging the fight longer than it needed to be, we obliterate him with a Scratch, winning us the 3rd gym badge. The Metal Bird wasn't too kind to us in the encounter department, but I find Wingstop after 71 encounters. For the most difficult encounter on paper with a 1% chance is Nuzleaf, who we find after just 47 encounters. I named him Stone Cold instead of Cold Stone, the ice cream place, but it's okay, I was just thinking of Steve Austin for some reason. I wipe out Team Magma on top of Mount Chimney and arrive into Labyrinth Town. Time for Flannery. She leads with her Numel as I send in Sonic. A yawn from him gets her drowsy as she misses a takedown. I switch into McDonald's, but unfortunately she decides to go for overheat. Here I almost switched into Wingstop instead of McDonald's, expecting a takedown, so definitely glad I didn't. Our held Oranberry heals us back to above half as she falls asleep. 3 calm minds later, boom, down goes Nummel, Slugma, and Camerupt. That crit definitely mattered. And Torkoal to another freaking crit. I am ridiculously lucky this run for sure, but that luck has won us the 4th gym badge. Time to whoop Dad's butt, but before that, McDonald's evolves and we get the TM for Dig and make our way back to Dad. Papa leads with the Spinda as I send in McDonald's. We use Calm Mind as Spinda teeter dances, but thanks to our ability Trace, we traced own tempo and can't be confused. We blast the rabbit with a Psychic, and after eating a Slash, do the same to Vigoroth. Out comes Chonky Gorilla. I switch into Wingstop, who eats the Facade, and then into KFC on his loafing turn. Now, I definitely did this completely wrong and used Dig, but he's faster, so we get hit by Yawn before hitting him with a Dig the next turn and falling asleep. Yeah, this is more a skill issue on my part, so I switch back into Wingstop on a Yawn and bring in Sonic. Now, I have to be careful since Slacking has counter as he displays after my Yawn. After chipping him with Rock Smash and completely avoiding impending doom, we get him low enough to where a Slash takes him out, and all Dad has is this Lanoon, who we outspeed with a Slash as he sets up a belly drum, getting himself super low. He does heal as a Slash brings him to almost half, but definitely not enough to kill with another one. It has come to the point where I must now sacrifice a team member for the greater good. Stone Cold's Dark typing as a Shiftry is too good to lose. McDonald's and KFC's power is too great, and I need Burger King for Juan and Wallace. Wingstop is the only one worth expensing. Wingstop hangs in after a Facade and gets a peck off before going down, allowing Sonic to come in and finish the job. Without Wingstop's sacrifice, I think this run was actually over since Slackout Slash didn't even do half. 5 badges in. After some more Team Aqua story, we arrive into Fortree City to take on Winona, and oh boy was she a pushover. Then again, setting up +5 on a Swablu that was only spamming Mirror Move was no real feat. But isn't it just satisfying to watch all their health bars just plummet? No? Alright, fine, I'll slow down on setting up that high with McDonald's. Badge 6 acquired. In the Safari Zone, after spending way too much time figuring out how to acro jump and just 30 encounters, we find ourselves a Heracross, who runs away. Honestly, that was super expected. In Magma Hideout, Sonic evolves into my dad, and KFC evolves as well. We beat up both boss fights and arrive into Moss Deep City, where the run-ending double battle awaits us. But before that, I go back to Route 119, where I'm able to find a Leaf Stone and evolve Stone Cold into Shiftry. Now time for the twins. They lead with Satsu and Claydol as McDonald's and Stone Cold take the field. With McDonald's now having Levitate, Stone Cold fakes out Satsu as McDonald sets up with the Calm Mind. Claydol goes for an EQ that doesn't affect McDonald's or Satsu, and only doing not so much damage to Stone Cold. As Zatsu sets up a Sunny Day, Stone Cold brings her deep into the red with a feint attack, as McDonald's gets another Calm Mind, and Claydol gets some damage on Shiftry. After their heal, a feint attack does more than half to the Claydol as a Shockwave bodies the Psychic Bird. Soul Rock is out, and with Flamethrowers, Stone Cold does not want any smoke. I switch into KFC as McDonald's takes out the Claydol and eat the incoming Flamethrower. Now both Soul Rock and Lunatone have Psychic that will body KFC. I switch into Stone Cold, do half to Soul Rock with the Psychic, and they both target him, not doing any damage. We then switch into KFC, and after getting Soul Rock pretty low, we're finally able to switch in Cold Stone and take out the Sunny Rock with a crit Psychic, which now means Lunatone can't touch us and goes down shortly, winning us the 7th gym badge. After waking up Daddy Rayquaza to stop his children from fighting, it's time for the final gym. Juan leads with his love disc as I send in the man of the hour, Burger King. Your time to shine, little buddy. As I set up a charge, the Love Fish hits Burger King with a Sweet Kiss, but Burger King doesn't care about her feelings and blasts her to the Shadow Realm with a Spark. Out next is Wishcast, so after switching into Sonic and a bit of back and forth, we take it out with a String. Celio comes in, and after switching around, Burger King comes in on a Water Pulse and gets confused, but we attack and Burger King hits a Spark that paralyzes. What a little goat. Celio, however, is an annoying blob and paralyzes us with a crit body slam. Great. Well, Burger King, hopefully you have better luck with the Elite Four. McDonald's comes in and finishes the job with a Shockwave. The Dark type with no Dark type moves comes in, gets brought down low by a Shockwave, then misses a Crab Hammer. allowing for 2 more shockwaves to take him out. His ace Kingdra is in, but after a water pulse, McDonald's obliterates him with a crit psychic, winning us the final Hoenn Jib badge. Before going to the Elite Four, I catch Dairy Queen, the Skitty, and gamble our life away to get a few TMs, and this is our final team. KFC with Bulk Up, Double Kick, Dig, and Flamethrower, Sonic with Strength, Earthquake, Rock Smash, and Slack Off, Stone Cold with Fake Out, Torment, Rock Tomb, and Feint Attack. Don't ask me about grass type moves, they don't exist, okay? Dairy Queen with Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Water Pulse, and Calm Mind, McDonald's with Calm Mind, Psychic, Double Team, and Shockwave, and last but certainly not least, Burger King with Spark, Thunder Wave, Fake Tears, and Charge. Sydney leads with his Mighty Anna as I send in McDonald's. I take the Intimidate drop and then I switch into KFC, who gets sand in his eyes and whiffs the double kick, resulting in about a third loss from a double edge. A crit kick from KFC takes him out the next turn. Shiftry comes in, so I send in my own, who just gets tormented. The following turn, fake him out, and as he goes for double team, we torment him. Yeah, how do you like them apples, bub? I switch it to KFC on a swagger, setting me up to +2, and KFC proceeds to punch himself in the face. Great job, man. With an extra sensory coming, I send in Stone Cold, who avoids the damage, and send in Dairy Queen, who gets swaggered and punches herself in the face. This is getting old. You know what's not getting old? Another fake out from Stone Cold. I send in Sonic, who gets his attack buffed and absolutely rocks this Shiftry with a strength. As Cacturn comes in and slows us, Sonic snaps out of confusion and murks him with a strength as well. But then this stupid Lobster comes in and crits us with a Surf, so we have to switch. But since he has no dark type moves, McDonald comes in on a scary sword stance, but is thankfully able to one-shot with a Shockwave. Absol is out last, and with no real way to hurt us, a couple of Shockwaves buries the dog wolf thing. Phoebe. She leads with her bulky Dusclops as I send in Dairy Queen. This chunky ghost always likes to go for Protect on turn 1, so I use Calm Mind. Then use it again as she curses us, and for some reason I thought she wouldn't go for Protect again, but go figure. She tries it again but isn't successful, and a Thunderbolt leaves her super low. Come on. I guess you are just a Del Caddy. I switch it to Stone Cold on her healing turn and hit a Feint Attack, getting her low as she confuses me. Not wanting to play the always punching yourself in the face game, I switch it to KFC as she uses Protect, and eventually take her out with a Flamethrower. That took way too long. Banette comes in, and I thought this was her non-psychic Banette for some reason, as I use Dig and realize I'm wrong. So after a Dig hits for more than half, we take a Psychic that doesn't quite do half and take her out with another Dig. Her offensive Dusclops comes in, and I switch to Sonic on an EQ that does poor damage, and we eventually take her out with another Earthquake. Her second Banette comes in and takes a bit of damage from a Dig before we switch into Sonic and blast her with another EQ. Sableye comes in and starts to set up with a double team, but is handled by Stone Cold in his Feint Attacks, winning us the second Elite Four battle. She leads with her Celio as I send in Burger King. The little goat not only does massive damage with a spark, but paralyzes Celio as well, allowing the king to take her out the next turn. Next that is Glacia. I switch in KFC on an Ice Beam and double kick her as she slows us with an Icy Wind. As she heals, another set of double kicks gets her back low, and we're finally able to take her out with a double. Are you freaking serious? We take a bit more damage from an Ice Beam as we thaw out with a Flamethrower, but that was stupid. Big Chungus comes in next, and I switch it to McDonald's on a Body Slam. A Shockwave does almost half as a Surf brings us low. I send in Sonic on another Surf that brings us to a little above half, and fire off an Earthquake that brings her to the red as Ice Beam brings us into the yellow. Thankfully, she has a Citrus Berry, so she won't heal to full, but since we're going to Loaf this turn, and a Surf will take out my strongest Pokemon, I switch into Burger King, who eats the Surf and takes her out with a Spark. Her second Celio comes in, and I notice is a big freaking problem. She can take out pretty much everyone, and Burger King can't one-shot her. I decide it's time for Stone Cold to give his final hoorah. Stone Cold eats a double edge on the way in, fakes her out, and the following turn gets some more chip with Feint Attack before going down to a Blizzard. What a fitting end for Stone Cold. You were a staple fight against the Tate and Liza fight, and you will thoroughly be missed. I send in McDonald's to finish the job with a shockwave, and last is our final Glalie. Dairy Queen comes in on a Shadow Ball as I set up a Calm Mind the next turn, and she just sets up Hail. A Thunderbolt does about a third before she brings us to about half, and another Thunderbolt crits her as we get really low. On her healing turn, I attack again, and Dairy Queen gets a clutch paralysis. We barely survive the Hail, and I switch into KFC on an Ice Beam, and I really banked on Hail stopping here, and we get stupid lucky and it stops, allowing us to take her out with a double kick. My luck is ridiculous. I should not be this far, honestly. One more battle before the champion. He sends in Shelgon as I lead with Dairy Queen. Since this is another turn 1 protector, I set up with a Calm Mind, and the following turn use Ice Beam that freezes. I'm just cheating at this point. He fully heals as I set up another Calm Mind and fire off an Ice Beam that this time takes him out. Altaria comes in and does about a third on us with Double Edge before we set up one more, and then next turn he decides to set up as well? Why? Well, I guess it doesn't matter too much because we one-shot with Ice Beam. Kingdra comes in to smokescreen us as a Thunderbolt does almost half, then has the audacity to paralyze us with Body Slam. But we get our vengeance and he falls in love with my sweet kitty and gets Wemma Gemma slammed by a Thunderbolt crit. The unloved Nintendo Dragon is next, so I switch it to Sonic on a crit EQ before slapping him with a Strength. McDonald's comes in, avoiding the EQ because we trace his Levitate, and after eating a Flamethrower, we take him out with Psychic. Last out is his Ace Salamence. A Crunch brings us to 56 HP as a Psychic gets him into Citrus Berry range. I switch into KFC on a Crunch, and I'm really hoping he survives a Dragon Claw. He does, and we fire off a Blaze boosted Flamethrower that brings him to the yellow, but not quite healing range. I then send in Burger King, and he rolls Flamethrower that we easily survive and take him out with the Spark. Wow, Burger King, you are incredible. The champion Wallace. Will my team of rare encounters be enough to beat him? Let's find out. Wallace leads with his behemoth Wailord as I send in Burger King. I set up a charge as he sets up Rain Dance. A Spark the next turn obliterates the whale. Gyarados comes in, and despite an Intimidate drop, the shrimp gets absolutely dropped. Wishcash comes in third, and Burger King has done more than enough. It's time to switch. I send in Sonic on an EQ that does little damage, and the following turn slap him with a Strength as he just sets up Amnesia and fires a Hyper Beam that tickles Sonic. I slack off to gain my health back as he has to recharge, and eat a Surf on my loafing turn before finally taking him out with one more Surf. Tentacruel comes in next and hits a Hydro Pump that does a good bit of damage. We hit a Strength that brings him really low and he misses Hydro Pump. We would have survived another, but that's still super lucky. We take him out with a Spark. Oh no. He survives on such low HP, taking out our little man. I come in with McDonald's as he heals and click way too fast and hit a Shockwave that doesn't even get him to half. We unfortunately have to eat a Sludge Bomb before taking him out. Second to last is Ludicolo, who gets taken to half with a Psychic before Leech Seeding us and healing a bit back. This does help me though, because after he goes for a double team, the Leech Seed takes him out of potion range, allowing McDonald's to take him out with a Psychic. His final Pokemon, the Sexy Eel. She decimates our McDonald's with an Ice Beam. I send in Dairy Queen, who just gets toxic before doing about an eighth with a Thunderbolt. We do survive a Surf and fire off another Thunderbolt before falling to Surf. I just need to get a bit more chip damage. We're so close. KFC just needs to get a little bit more damage off. I hold my breath hoping to survive this attack, and KFC survives on 1 HP. Holy shit. The dig damage takes him to a good range after his Citrus Berry, and after falling, Big Daddy Slacking comes in, and with one final Strength, we're able to bury the eel, winning us the battle and crowning ourselves as champion of Hoenn once more. Wow, that was down to the wire. I even paused right here to send my editor a picture of how close this fight was. Goodness. I had a lot of fun with this run, just mainly because I was stupid lucky. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing, as it helps the channel tremendously. Thank you so much for the support, and until next time, bye.